let's get into it. We're going first quarter. We're going 10 to 20 yards. Let's go. All right, first quarter, we're going 10 to 20 yards, right? We're going short game. We're going to score today, episode 25. Talk me through this here. If you're going to hit a little just kind of vanilla, low to medium type of shot, carry at 10, it's going to run out 12 to 14, what are you doing?
I'm going to play it a little farther back. I'm going to play it a little square, and I'm going to try to land it 10 yards, and it's going to release, 2 to 4 yards.
Okay.
So that's my game plan typically. It just all depends for me on the lie, what I'm trying to do, uphill, downhill, down grain, that type of thing.
Let's go a little vanilla shot here.
Okay.
Got a good lie, flat situation.
So I'm going to try to land it 10 yards,
Okay.
and for here on the field, it might not bounce that far, but I'm going to try to land it 10. So a little bit farther back in my stance, hands a little bit forward, weight a little bit forward on my left side, and just make an easy motion.
Good. So that's just kind of that low to medium trajectory. It's going to have a little bit of spin on it too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you catch it nice, it should.
Let's do it again. I've seen you hit this shot before, and I want to pay attention here to one particular component that I love, okay? Go ahead and set up there again. Notice with Josh here, that shaft lean is conservative. We talk about that a lot here on the Stripe Show. The butt of the club pointing just left of the belt buckle. All right, let's do it again. So it's just slightly forward, and then from there he's able to hit that low to medium trajectory. Let's switch spots just for a second here, Josh. It's interesting. I'll have you stand right there. It's interesting, when I was young and growing up, I was taught to hit this shot kind of off to the side. Okay, so I'll stand off to the side, the shaft pointing left of the body.
Wow.
Right, so it was very much off to the side like this, quite a bit of shaft lean, and then go from there. And inevitably, you'd hit some good shots, but you would kind of get the leading edge kind of caught in the ground too from time to time. And then you had to almost kind of manufacture and shallow it out. What I love about how you set up to it, ball position a little back, but you look pretty square, and the shaft just slightly to the left like that, and then from there you can hit that medium type of trajectory, and I think even utilize the bounce just a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. I like to utilize the bounce.
Yeah.
And I think for this type of shot, you don't have to try too hard. This is one of the ones you just want to make it simple.
Yeah.
And make it easier on yourself to
Let's have you come back up here again. I want to ask you, okay, this little vanilla shot.
Yeah.
Correlate it to kicking.
It should be your bread and butter.
Okay.
You should feel like you should hit a good shot here 3 out of 4 times.
Okay.
So concentrate on that. So this one would be, for me, like a chip shot, as they say. I hate the terminology with the chip shot, but
chip shot,
yes,
as it relates to an extra point.
Correct.
Okay.
So it should be extra point, old extra point, like 20-yarder to 30-yarder. So yes. So this would be one that I expect to hit a good shot 3 out of 4 times.
How often would you practice an extra point in the NFL? Never.
Never. You never practice the extra point because you expect to make it every single time.
How often would you practice this shot? If you were spending an hour and a half in the short game, how much here?
This is actually what I start out with every single important round that I play. This is the first thing that I do because I think this helps me out with my feel, the ball contact that I'm trying to get, and then I move it up from there.
Let's do one more here. Go ahead and set up here. I want to point out another really good component here. And you can always tell, good players just really at address. I mean, just they have really good, clean fundamentals at address. Obviously, he's got good technique. But when you set up to the ball, Josh, notice his shoulders are very level, okay? So just hold your setup there for a second. His top button here on his shirt, pretty much right on top of his belt buckle. So his shoulders are fairly level to the ground. Not a lot of side bend, right? And we talk about that in the full swing. We want a little side bend maybe in the full swing, but you start getting up around the green, you can start leveling that out. Is this pretty much the way that you've always done it, or is that something you've kind of learned over time?
It's definitely something I've learned because this is the type of thing, especially the short game, it takes a lot of practice. It takes trial and error. So it's something that I've learned over time. And obviously on the golf course, you're not going to get level lies every single time.
Right.
So you have to learn how to get your shoulders level so you're not digging into the ground, and vice versa when you have a downhill lie. want to lean into it a bit. So that's just something I've learned.
Would you ever change face angle and or ball position on this particular shot?
I absolutely would. It all depends on what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
I mean, all things are equal. With a level lie and a level shot here, I'm just going to play a normal pitch.
Okay.
But when it comes to trying to get the ball higher, more spin, lower, less spin, it just all depends.
What I'm loving here from Josh's technique is ball position back, but the shaft just slightly forward, everything pretty square, and as we were relating to, shoulders level, right? And of course, I talk about that in the show here, right bend, left bend, you know, full swing, short game, we're a little more here. You'll notice when Josh went higher, the ball position went up a little bit, but he also kind of opened up his shoulders a bit. So his spine staying left and open kind of helped him stay more on top of it. And I think that's so key. It's really easy to start getting into some of this stuff where we start kind of hanging back, and that's when we start to bottom out too soon. So I love the technique. Hey, Tom, take a little walk with me here real quick. Come up here. Look at these balls here. He's at the 5. He's now at the 10. Look at here. So we've got a couple right in here that landed 10, 11, 12 yards, 13, 14 yards, right? Now, don't worry about that. That was the first one that I bellied right in the middle. That's out there about 20 yards. But we're just kind of focusing into this 10 to 20 yard range. And you'll notice with his technique, very clean at address, and then just little motions that's getting it out there 10 to 15, maybe 20 yards. All right, we're going to the second quarter now, and we're going to stretch this out to like 40 to 60 yards. We're going to call it a toss shot. A lot of correlation here to kicking with Josh Scobee. Stay with us. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. And remember, leave a comment if you have any questions. And most importantly, subscribe right here to Travis Fulton Golf so I can help you with your game long term.